Alright, welcome to the Vortex Whitetail Madness here in Missouri. Hey you guys, welcome back to 36 Covered. Appreciate you showing up. Today we are in Clarence, Missouri for the Vortex Whitetail Madness in Clarence, Missouri. This happened on March 22nd through the 24th. For NRL classifications, they gave it a target acquisition of a 1, physical fitness section a 2, and an overall difficulty level a 1. So I will say on day 1, I had a lot of issues. It seemed like that clock just went way faster than 4 minutes. But for my scoring, I gave it a target acquisition a 2.25. There was a wolf that, depending on the day, I guess, you know, in the sunlight and all that stuff, there was a few people, or quite a few people, that couldn't see that wolf. We noticed it as we were walking by because we had already shot that portion of the course the next morning on day 2, and that wolf was just glowing out there. It was so much easier to see. So just having the right lighting, being there at the right time is beneficial sometimes. Physical fitness, I gave it a 2, 2.5. It was nice. You could drive to the top of the hill. There was a little bit of hiking, but they did have some side-by-sides with trailers, on especially some of the farther parts, depending on what time of day you started. If you started out towards stage like 12, 13, and 14. So there was 14 stages. We shot 10 on the first day, 4 on the second day. I will say that day 2 went really well, but day 1 being 10 stages and day 2 only being 4, it didn't matter what kind of magical madness I could do on day 4 or 2. There's no way I was going to catch up. So I dropped a lot of points. There was one stage I didn't even shoot. By the time I monkey effed around with my triple pull sky pod and running a rear thing, there was a lot of targets where most people would just shoot off of a tripod. And I think, just to simplify it, shooting off of a tripod would have been the way to go. But I tried this triple pull quite a few times, and by the time I figured out that it wasn't going to be high enough, I was basically out of luck. So with that said, let's go on to the scoring I'm giving it. For the range was nice. It was a 3, 3.5. And food, we had sandwiches, chips, and a cookie for one of the days. And then they fed us an amazing meal. Give it a 4 for the ceremony. Very nice. Barbecue, this, and all sorts of stuff. The trophies, I gave it a 3.5. Really nice metal trophies. Really cool. Vortex was one of the bigger sponsors on the prize table. But as far as the prize table, I gave it a 3.5. Match director was Isaiah Curtis. Nice guy, very good shooter. And a lot of times these guys, because they've been doing it so long, are just blessed to have so, magical skills of shooting. A lot of times they'll give overall difficulty levels like a 1 and target acquisition a 1 and that kind of stuff. But for some of us that don't shoot as good as they do, or maybe we haven't shot the game as long, finding the stuff is a little more difficult for the person that's still trying to figure the game out. So, but I think his scores are pretty good. The ROs did a good job. Nice, friendly, that kind of stuff. So that was nice and helpful. And other than that, I'm going to show some video footage. I did enjoy it. I got frustrated right off the get-go. Just was not shooting to what I thought my potential should be. Struggling finding the right height to shoot from. Eating up valuable time. And unfortunately, that's not what you want to do on these style matches. But things I learned, and one thing I really want to stress, and I thought was really cool, was Isaiah had asked the group, because there was quite a few skills shooters. So if you guys don't know what skills shooters are, basically they can run rifles that are heavier than what you're supposed to have, and some other stuff as far as hit or power factor and all that kind of stuff. But it gives people an idea if they want to get interested in this style of shooting. So it's skills division. So you pay half the price, or basically half the price of what the match fee, and the match fee was actually pretty cheap. It was $200 for a single, $400 for a team, and I think $100 for the skills shooter. So that was pretty impressive. That's the smallest number I've seen so far.
Shooter, are you ready?
Going to all these matches. So some of them get up to $285 I've seen. So depending on, you know, if they're making shirts and all that kind of stuff, the prices seem to vary depending on what they're doing. But what was neat about the thing is Isaiah said if we have some skill shooters that want to shoot with a certain individual, that will basically coach them. So they give all the different shooters that were in the skills division, they kind of put them into their own squad. And in the beginning, it kind of messed things up because there really wasn't a squad for them, so every stage already had a squad. But it seemed to work out fine, and I thought it was pretty neat where all the skill shooters could shoot together, talk about it, get some more info on it. Kind of the guy that was instructing them can really, like, you know, put some time, energy into these shooters, and they come out being a bit better as far as understanding the course of fire, where the targets are, different ways to range the targets, how to find the target. So it was pretty cool. Not only was it just the skill shooter goes out there and tries to shoot with the squad, there was actually kind of a little bit of on-the-clock classroom per se. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you soon in a couple of weeks. The next match is in Oklahoma, and that one is on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of April. So I've got a couple weeks off, be hanging out at a friend's house here in Branson, Missouri area, and checking out Table Rock Lake. Got to see some Talking Rock Cavern. Just doing some cool stuff while I'm waiting for the next match. But that next match is the Manners Elite Hunter in Grandfield, Oklahoma. And we'll see you there. So here's stage 2. I didn't even get a chance to shoot. You saw how I used all my time trying to figure it out. Right below, right at the edge of that red, the bottom of the red on that stake, that goes down a hill. And one of the targets was down there. So you needed to be elevated enough where you could actually shoot from there. So there's no possibility of shooting prone of any sort. And then there was another target out a ways. But you had to get the first target. So just learning how high you can go with where you're going to need to transition from, say, a double pull or a triple pull into having to shoot from your tripod, and kind of memorizing that height can definitely help save you some time. Unfortunately, I didn't have the skills that day to figure that out. So, and then right when I was getting ready to pull off, I put my mag in, closed the bolt partially because my chamber flag was still in it. So just lots of little things. I think I was still frustrated from stage 1, and that day it was like that all day long. So it was tough. So the scores were hard to get, or the points were hard to get on day 1 for sure. Here's the distances that I didn't get it to shoot, and they were close.
Stage 2.
Nice and close. All right, so here's stage 3. I forgot to take a picture of the thing, but it was 1 target, 4 positions. And I actually got a clean on this stage, which for having a crappy day, I'm like, okay, I'm back. And unfortunately, I wasn't. Do really good, do really bad, do really bad, do even more bad, and then I'll do okay. It was one of them days. Day 2, though, was really good. Out of the 4 stages, I cleaned 3, and I think I got a 5 or a 6 on, I think it was a 5 on the last stage of the day. One of the things that was noticed and brought up to me was up towards the top of my tripod, the legs weren't very tight. So not the part that like holds the legs at the certain height, but the actual part where they open up and spread apart. So we actually ended up tightening those up later on during the day. There's still a few stages where they're still kind of loose, where I was fumbling around with it. So having the top head of that area of the tripod a little bit tighter, so when you actually spread those legs out and you're dragging it around and using it kind of as a rear, like in here where I'm using it as a rear support, it's less likely to kind of fold up. And you'll see, I think from a match before, where the tripod actually closed up on me. So tightening those up definitely helps. So something to think about. Keeps it a little more. See how I had to kick the leg out there? It just kind of, when it's tighter and they're already out, they have a better chance of staying out when you're dragging it around to each position.
Plenty of time left.
All right, so stage 4, 2 positions, 2 targets. They're bobcats. And here's another great example of me just wasting a crud load of time and trying to find the targets. There was like this little island out there that had like vegetation in it. So it went from crop field to this little island to another crop field. And they were on hangers. And unfortunately, I kept seeing this one thing. It looked like a target. And I couldn't get a good enough, I don't know, I wasn't seeing it right. And then finally I saw the actual target. So I was kind of questioning myself, like, is this shadow thing, is that the target? Because sometimes these are very difficult targets to find. And then just a lot of wasted time all the way around. Didn't really get a chance. You're going to see me try to use my triple pull, look down, go. I'm not going to be able to see that target because it's below the arch of the hill. And those are the kind of things that you should be figuring that out a lot better than how I did on day 1. So you use this as a learning curve. So we had talked about hit percentages and kind of the thing I was going for. In the last 2 matches, my hit percentages have gone up. And I think that was in the back of my head going, man, my percentages are going way down from this match. And so, you know, you're fighting your brain, you're trying to find the targets, shoot the targets, and some of that stuff's running through your head when it shouldn't. So we got Tyler and Kurt here. They were a team that shot just before me. Kurt actually got some video footage that I'm not even going to throw in here just because it's this perspective's bad enough of the S show. But moving on.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my dope card for that. Look how close these targets are, and I still couldn't find them. Or, you know, I couldn't get into a good position. I mean, 252 on the second target is just close. So moving on to the next one. I will say the distances that you had to run were a lot farther than most matches I've gone to, which helps to increase your heart rate and that kind of stuff, and makes it a little tougher as a shooter. And you spend a little more time getting your butt to the shooting position. So time gets spent doing all that.
Re-engage. Next position. Ham. You got a minute left. Impact. Next target. 45 seconds. Take your time. Re-engage. Impact. Show safe and clear.
Whitetail bucks, straps, stage 6. 2 targets, 2 positions, 431, 560. Another 4 position, 4 targets. Stage 7, prairie dogs. Left to right.
Four targets, 1 position, yeah. Yes, sir. 4 targets, 1 position. Is the second target out in the field? Be more specific. Right in the yellow part? Turn ahead, the yellow part? Yeah. They're all yellow posts? Yes. They were at one time unless they got shot. There's one that's bladed that looks like something else. I'll pick up there. Thank you. 2-3, I don't know if that's 3 though. Is target 3 just 1 o'clock at that black target with the yellow post? No. Okay. Did you find one? Yeah. Okay, so right here. He is straight ahead, just like 1 o'clock at the white stick looking thing with the yellow post. Okay, yes. That's 3. And then 3, him right here with the yellow post. Yep, that's 3. That is 3, okay.
All right, so target 3 I found, but it was a bladed target, so I thought it was for a different thing, so I went to 4. So actually that number there is target 4. Stage 7. Forgot to start the timer. Luckily I asked, had enough time to get a few points. Today's been a shit show. One position, 4 targets. Looking for that guy. Mr. Bobcat. So I will say, if you decide to use your tripod as a rear support, definitely elevate the tripod so that you're not having to be inside of that mess right there. So you can just basically use one leg like you're supposed to. And as you can see, the legs are still haven't been tightened yet. I think after this stage we might have tightened them, or on day 2 it might have been. But yeah, if I would have ran my tripod up higher, it would have been a lot easier to support the rifle. I think I did okay on this stage. I can't remember, but having all that stuff right in the way where you need to be is not a smart idea.
Impact. Impact. Impact.
Man, I fought with that thing. Woo! Thank you, RO, for RO.
Yeah, no problem, bud. Good shooting.
Your work pants got a hole in them. They ever start.
Stage 9, wolves, 2 positions, 2 targets. Let's go find some wolves. Near to far.
Is target 2 in between those big trees at the tree line? I can't answer that. Okay, I'll hope it is. Can't remember what the target looks like. No, it's a tree.
Alright, I'm gonna skip the second one and just go.
No problem.
All right, so since I still have time left on the clock, and I've already engaged the first target, now I have some time to look for the second target. But like I said earlier with the lighting, on day 2 when we were walking by to get to our stages, people were saying that wolf was just glowing. So, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
Ready?
Only found one target. Father and son. They're killing it too. Last stage of the day.
Chamber flags in.
Been doing that all day.
I'll be tall. Re-engage.
Skip into this one.
Impact. Time.
Missouri's
You
got
just
a new
found-
hole.
Did you just found 2 when you was scanning across there?
I had
Your
I don't
your
know,
rifle
'cause
was
once I got up.
your rifle was pointing at 2 when you was just playing down here. 2 down here at the bottom.
Oh, right here, yeah.
You called 3, so you're good.
Okay.
Day 1 is finally over. It is sad when you just cannot wait for the day to end. 10 stages, probably 7 stages of mental screw ups, a couple okay stages, and just glad it's over with. But here's some of the beauty of the area. This is a huge ranch, farmland that we were lucky enough to be able to have the match here. So kudos for that. You can see the parking area in the down here towards the on one of the hills. Just a nice place. Good times, a lot of fun. So here's some of the kind of layout. There's targets out here. We're kind of shooting from in the wooded area where you're kind of not really sure what the wind's doing. You can kind of see some targets out there if I zoom in. I'm trying to drive and do this at the same time, but you can see some targets. But that's kind of how it works. It's been a fun match so far. A little depressed on how shitty I shot, but nice little pond. First day we did 0 range here. We had a chance to actually shoot out to 750 yards. You can see the 100-yard 0 right there. And we shot from down there at 100 yards. So this is the first match of the year where I've actually had a chance to get some dope verification with my rifle. So that was really a bonus, which was nice. It is the morning of day 2. And unfortunately I didn't shoot very well on day 1, but it is what it is. Got some cows over here. It's a good day. It's a good day. When you did really bad on Saturday, you got to keep telling yourself, today is a good day. All right, stage 11, Dogtown. All right, today is Sunday, day 2, a whole new day, Rick. Anything can happen. Just don't let it be like the day before. All right, so going into this, I'm like, I am not going to try to look from the tripod not extended. Just because of the way the slope and the angle was, I could already tell that there was probably some stuff down below and off to the ends there. So I made it to the height where I could shoot from. The problem is, now I'm in this crouched position, but I don't have to change everything up before I go to put my rifle on it. I already knew I was going to be shooting from this tripod today because it seemed like yesterday, everything, if I would have just shot it from the tripod, or at least 90% of the stages, I would have been way better off than fighting, trying to figure out a way to get to the position. And when you're down prone, a lot of those targets get hidden because of the slope of the hill and that you're on. So, it was leg day. Target 4, the right limit. Target. Just in front of that big tree. With the big tree, and then there's a little dead tree just like the 10 o'clock of it, a little short one.
The one you're looking at? Yes, that is.
That's target 4?
Yes.
Now you might see that I clamped the front of my rifle onto the tripod, and this isn't your best option. You want to put it as close to center of the weight of the rifle as you can. So I did hit every target, but I could have been even more stable if I would have actually brought that rifle forward and had it more balanced on that tripod. And this is where the clock kind of takes your brain, scrambles it around a little bit, because there's a lot of these little things to get the most balance, to get, a tighter, basically, cone of your shot per se, because your reticle isn't moving as much when you're trying to stabilize your rifle. Just makes the shot a little bit easier because you're taking a lot of that wobble out. We're having it basically clamped onto the front is being a detriment.
Start the day? Heck yeah, nice. Heck yeah, buddy. Way to start the day.
So we were shooting prairie dogs, and the prairie dogs are tough. But I've never shot a target as close as 63 yards before, so those targets, they had some abuse that weekend for sure.
Where you're from, meaning like which town, right? He's like,
Here's like position straightforward of it.
Now, I forgot to load my mag from the stage before, and luckily I had cleaned that stage and only used 4 rounds. But when I went to load my magazine, having the window, the MDT, it has a window with mag's got metal lips on there. I go, oh crap, I don't see any bullets. But I knew there was probably at least 4 in there, so luckily I cleaned the stage and only needed 4, but those are the little things that can catch you. Now, I always carry a spare magazine because you might have a mag that just decides it doesn't want to work anymore. And having a backup is always, a must-have. But remembering to load your magazine is even more important. So just little things that can bite you in the butt if you're not fully in the game for the day.
I'll tell you, he does pretty damn well. Like, he's open light too.
So stage 13, 2 trophy bucks, 2 positions. Ended up being $395 and $495, I believe. Just thinking offhand. So this one, the wind was not much. It registered about 10 miles an hour, and I think I was holding 0.5. But sometimes you're going to hear me say, if you hear me say this, this could either work out really well or really bad. Let's try something.
Rick, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Impact. Impact. Impact.
What the fuck?
20 seconds. Impact. That hurts a lot.
Now we should just stay here and watch this concert.
So on day 2 so far,
I'm
we
ready.
had 4 stages in total. I've already cleaned the first 3 stages. And I'm thinking if I can just hold on and clean one more stage, that'll help a little bit. It ain't going to help enough to do anything because of my shitty scores yesterday. But boy, would it be nice to just have the whole day of cleans. So we got 1 position, 4 targets. And the question is, can I find 4 targets and shoot them? The answer is no. Nope, I'm going to screw this up. I can't have a clean day. You're not even supposed to have a clean day. So why would I come into it thinking, man, if I can just do this? But yeah, the answer is no. I don't get a clean. But I had a good day. It is so much more enjoyable shooting a match where you're actually hitting targets. I don't know why. It just is. I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way. When you do something good, you're like, man, this is a lot of fun. But on day 1, I was not feeling that at all.
Target 3 of yellow antlers? Correct. Hey, you get leftover rounds. Two minutes remaining, sir. Thank you.
So you're going to see me kneel right here thinking, okay, that's probably the height of the triple pull. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to extend the legs on the bipod, and then I'll have rear support. I can't remember the distance yet. It should be on the armband, but I'm thinking, okay, this is going to work out okay. And then when I go to find the first target, which should always be the easiest one because there's a placard there, I'm thinking, okay, I got this. Load my mag, and then it appears I can't find it. It might be where I'm too low. It might be where I just mistakenly missed where I had like a kind of a visual land marker in my head. But now I'm scrambling. I don't have shit for time left. I'm trying to get this at an elevation that I can put my rifle on and shoot it. So there's a lot of time being wasted. But I think I got some hits on it.
Impact, first round. Re-engage.
Get in the floor.
Time.
Maybe not.
Open your bolt. And I was supposed to go take down a bunch of tree stands, and it says we were cutting off the fucking black gale face was fucking stuck it right in my leg.
All sorts of goodies. Can't get too close because they'll see the numbers sometimes, and then they'll try to cash in on it. You might end up with one of those. I would love to see you guys do that.
I would love that as well.
This guy here, I don't want to show his face, but this guy here, don't show your face. He kicked ass with his dad here as a team at rifles. We'll see what one of these bad boys looks like. I will not be grabbing one of these off the table today.
All right, James, let's see here. What do we got here? What do we got?
That's a good win.
Action, finds action.
Good prize table. Really good prize table. His name's Isaiah. Master.
All right, before we get really started, who has some electronic gear pro this weekend? It was a great turnout. I've seen a lot of familiar faces, and I've seen quite a few that I've never seen before. But I'm glad to have you here. We had the fortune of having a couple guys come from Australia. They
There he is.
had a pretty far trip to make it. I'm glad they're here. We pretty well had the Midwest covered. Had some come up from Louisiana, I think I've talked to. A lot of different states brought in, and I'm above, just beyond happy that you all could be here this weekend and travel in and everything went safe. Thank you all for being safe out there. We didn't have to use any first aid kits. Those things are really expensive anyway. So. Absolutely. All right, so in third place, we have Grass and Ooch. Come on up. That's all right. Gentlemen. One more here, Nick. Yeah, that's fine. Nick, get on here. All right. Good job, fellas. In second place, completely because of one half of the team, We have Odom and Odom. Thank you all. It was a pleasure watching. And in first place for the team division, we had Hobbs and Forbes. The way it's gonna go is overall win is gonna come off the prize table, and it's gonna be first production, first light, first heavy. In this particular case, our overall winner happens to be an open light, so it's gonna start at that. So without further ado, open light winner of the complete match overall, Trent Peterson.
Good job, Trent.
Trent only dropped 2 points all weekend. One yesterday, one today.
Unreal.
Top factory. Production factory.
Wait a minute. He signed up as open heavy,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, he did. He did shoot a factory rifle all weekend. I watched him do it. So. All right, Neil Pollard. Come on Good job, Neil.
I want to end.
Come on, Neil. Get yourself a picture.
Did he?
Good shoot. First place open heavy. We got Josh Perry.
Yeah.
Open heavy, third place. Open heavy, third place, Jacob Sikora.
Jacob.